Hi, this is Samina Sheikh here on Zoom channel, and with me today I have the star cast of Big Girls Don't Cry. So join me as I welcome all of them on Zoom, and I'm not going to introduce them; they are going to introduce themselves. So start with you, Pooja.
Hi, I'm Pooja Bhatt and I play Anita Verma,
Yes.
who is the principal of this motley crew.
Hi, I'm Lakila and I play JC.
I'm Nitya Behera. I'm the creator of the show.
Hi, I'm Anita and I play Ruby.
Hi, I'm Avantaka and I play Ludo. Hi, I'm Akshata and I play Dia.
Hi, I'm Vidushi and I play Kavya Yadav.
Hi, I'm Dalai and I play Pluggy.
Hi, I'm Afra and I play Noor.
And to all of you, when was the last time you sat on this bench? It's a special bench, I must say, the college bench we talk about, or the boarding bench. What do you get it?
We were like, we've been sitting here since the morning.
And if I talk about this series, and it's quite interesting, and your role especially, Pooja, it's thoda sa dangerous. It reminds of some strict teachers and strict, principles which we have. How was it playing this role for you?
Wonderful to be strict.
To be strict?
Yeah, and to be on the other end, because I have been the student who always got into trouble a lot. I've always been very opinionated. I've always stood my ground. I've been unafraid to stand away from a crowd with my feelings and what I stand for, and that's not the easiest life to lead because it can get very lonely. But it was wonderful to play Anita Verma because I think that what she's doing desperately is trying to keep everyone together. Her responsibility is greater than the parent back home in a sense. So that's what she thinks. And also she's nuanced. She's got her own baggage. She's got her own cross that she's carrying that she can't bring to the fore. So for me, it was a delightfully complex character and yet extremely humbling to be able to be on set back in Ooty, my favorite location, where I've shot Dile Ke Manta Nahi Sadak and innumerable films with this bright young lot whose energy I just fed off.
Nitya, to you, after Bar Bar Dekho and Made in Heaven, which has been a successful series all over there, what made you make a film like this one? A series like this?
I think just the fact that it is probably the most underrepresented community, and by the community I mean young girls. I don't think there are any stories in film or in Indian literature. And I said this earlier also, I feel like this young little women of this country are probably consuming stuff that is representative of American high school and British high school and all over the world. I mean, I watched a show which is based in Ireland. And I was like, there is nothing for our girls, our Indian girls, that represents them. And I went to an all-girls boarding school, and I thought that is also another aspect that a lot of people don't know. If you've not been to boarding school, you don't know what that experience is like. And so for me, it was really clear. I wanted to leave a little kiss for the little women out there in this country.
And as we talk about the country, the society, what we exist in, I have seen that, and over the years, I think every woman out there, has experienced this. It's not that easy to be the girl what you want to be, with so many dreams in your eyes, wanting to, fight the society. What all you have faced, and I go one by one, whenever you have tried to achieve one of your goals?
Well, I think the most important, or probably the most difficult battle that one fights is when in the teaser you must have seen a close-up of my face saying, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And I think that is what you have to fight the most. इसकी अगर आप जान नहीं जाएंगे कि आप हो क्या और आप हो कौन, दुनिया आपको बताएगी, बार-बार बताने की कोशिश करेगी. They'll try and slot you. They'll try and because the world is incapable of a new reference. I find of understanding. They resist that a lot. So I think that has really been it, is to kind of be yourself unabashedly, whatever that yourself is. That is the battle that doesn't go with age. In fact, it becomes even more ferocious, because they expect you to be kind of now tempered down. If only they know that it gets, the fire burns even brighter. So that's it.
And how many times have you also been said by some people that you're too audacious, for what you are? Whenever you have been outspoken or wanting to be how
Well, I
you
was
want to be.
24 when I produced my first film, Tamanna. I think becoming India's youngest female producer. I was told by a largely male industry that I have no business entering their world. Stick to acting, I was told. कि stardom पे लात मार रही हो तुम, film बनाओगी, क्यों? I produced 10 films, directed a few, launched I think about 25, 30 people. Still have my boots on and my gloves on, 52. So
Awesome. That's good. Moving on to you.
Certainly always struggled with self-doubt, to be honest. And doing this project, it kind of helped me dig deep within myself to find skills or like to explore my own capabilities that I was never even aware of that I had. But now I do.
Moving on to you, Nitya.
So many. There's so many struggles in life.
many.
I'll just keep it to I'll keep it to the show. The first struggle I faced when I just wrote the concept was all ladke chahiye. So here we are sitting. That means I achieved that.
Yeah.
Right? We managed without itne ladke nahi chahiye.
I think for me, it's the most obvious thing for me to say, which is that wanting to become an actor in a Punjabi household, a girl from Amritsar wanting to make it big in the industry has been especially difficult because everybody around you tells you that, are you sure? Like, that's really not for people who are like, and I was like, I don't know if it's going to happen, if it's not going to happen, but I'd hate myself if I never even put my foot out there and actually tried to make it. I still don't know if I will, but I think the most...
You are sitting on this.
That's true, that's
to
true.
define what's making it
That was my next point. That's exactly what I was going to say. So that internal conflict of actually trying to convince myself to want conventional things, to want the things that people wanted me to, has been quite difficult. And I think overcoming that and sitting here with everybody today is a testament to the fact that if you're resilient and if you listen to yourself, it'll only lead to great things.
I was going to say same thing. I think wanting to be an actor, and I think being like someone who's Indian and wanting to be an actor, especially when you don't come from a family of people who are in films or even in arts, the concept of wanting to be in the industry is a little bit foreign, and oftentimes it comes with these like stigmas and notions of like, oh, she maybe wants to do that because she's stupid, or she's not doing well in academics, or she wants like glamour, fame. And I think combating that one and understanding that like people are going to have so many opinions when you want to stray away from the conventional path, but you decide what is a fact, and making sure you pick your facts carefully and more importantly truthfully, I think is hard in an industry like this where you're constantly being perceived and constantly at the other end of like facing all these opinions. And so I think having that assurity in yourself and staying true to like at least my desire of wanting to be an actor and knowing that is something I really am passionate about, I think has been a struggle, a constant struggle. But I often find myself inspired when I'm amongst so many incredible girls, because while we have all gone through our fair share of insecurities on this set, we've come out of it like so sure of ourselves and so sure of our position here today on this bench. And I think that has been really inspiring for me.
Chalo.
I mean, I'll also agree with Anita and Avantika. As women in general, we do receive a lot of judgments, whether it's people judging us for being actors or anybody doing something else, or even, you know, the way somebody dresses up or the way they talk, someone's too soft or someone's too loud. So all in all, I feel like women just, and me included obviously, we struggle with judgment from everywhere, and I feel like overcoming that is something that takes time. I mean, at least for me. But now I'm like, you know, as people say, kuch to log kahenge, logo ka kaam hai kehna. You do what you want as long as you're doing the right thing, and yeah.
I think, thankfully, gratefully, I haven't struggled with judgment from my family or support in terms of wanting to be an actor. But I think crossing that hurdle and then getting into the space where I'm now presenting myself as an option to casting directors, and in this space, you know, I think because there is a limited amount of roles in terms of perception that a woman can, you know, play in this industry. That's been a struggle, you know, to try and, before people try and slot me into things that they think would fit. You know, you play a bride once and they only want you to play a bride, or you play, you know, a younger girl once, they only want you to play a younger girl. So like that's been a bit of a struggle, and also just to try and push yourself as a person, as an actor, not just a female actor, and like what you can be in support of a hero or something. But I feel like I've overcome that struggle, similarly to what Avantika said, by being surrounded by people who are championing stories like this. You know, I've worked with Nitya twice now on 2 projects that have such
diverse and layered women in both of them. So, I feel like you have no man is an island, and I definitely am not in overcoming my struggles.
Yeah.
I feel one criticism or just an opinion is people said that I dream too big and maybe I'm going too fast according to their pace. So it's their pace. So I just feel because in my family, the things that I want to do, nobody has ever done them. I'm not even in my environment, it was never that. So it was just ki Vidushi, you're aiming too big, or your dreams are too big. You want to become a dancer and an actor. You also want to study psychology. You want to do all of this, and you want to excel in all of it. But I think what my upbringing, usse ye aata hai ki you can be anything and everything, and you get to decide who you want to be. And the fact that I'm supported and so loved, so I feel really good. And one thing that my mom said, which is really very close to me, कि जो कहीं के लिए निकलता है वो पहुंचता जरूर है. So I know if I'm aiming for tuck 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 tuck, then tuck 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 would happen. I just have to work really hard.
Take away from this.
Which I'm really open to, working really hard and being focused. So being grateful, very grateful.
I think as women, I feel like Pooja ma'am was saying before, unless you have a very strong sense of self, people will start just telling you what you can or cannot do. I feel like personally for me, I dealt with that so I'm studying VFX and animation, and in the middle of all of that, I also happened to start auditioning for the show. And when I started doing that, obviously because my parents aren't from this kind of industry, they were just kind of like, why are you even trying? Just stay, you've got your whole, you've got your degree, you've got your steady thing going. Why even try something new? Why even go into there? Especially when you don't know a lot about the industry as a new actor, when you're trying to still break in. So, but I mean, thankfully my parents were really supportive, but I feel just from outside, relatives or friends, they're why are you even bothering? But I feel I don't know, the only person that you have to prove something to is yourself. And by doing this, I have proved it to myself that I can do this, but I also can do that. And yeah, I think just dealing with that.
In the series, Nithya, as it's mentioned that, we are not going to cry, and eventually something happens, and I'm not going to talk about the climax, but there are certain stories in this, which talks about, someone is fighting for the sexual desire she has, someone is fighting for the identity she has, as the gender, or someone is fighting for a boy, or, different stories. When you brought everything on platter, what was something you were fighting out for?
I think I was just fighting for it to be real, for it to be authentic. I think I just wanted to do justice to this age group. I wanted to do justice to little women. I wanted to do justice to their mind frame and how they deal with situations. I did not want our 40-year-old jaded perspective to infiltrate the innocence that you have at that age. So I think that was my hardest fight.
And coming to this is a small segment I'm going to play with all of you. It's not a segment, basically, it's about the word cry and what leads to girls crying. Okay, so it's a topic like that. So starting with that, the very first question is, what makes girls cry easily? Anyone can
I think
answer.
when you're angry,
Yeah.
it's just
Correct.
immediately
Yeah.
I'm really mad at you, but I'm gonna cry right now.
Yeah.
So irritating because no one takes you seriously when you start crying.
I want to debate with you, but with tears.
What could help girls from crying?
Food.
Friends. They're friends.
Female friends.
Friends and food.
Friends and food.
And kindness.
And sleep.
Kindness.
This is a very, it could be a controversial question, but I have to ask. Are men the reason behind girls crying always?
No. They're not, but I will say more often than not.
I mean, they're one of the reasons.
They're
I
one of
wouldn't
the
say
reasons.
they're always the
Yeah.
I think people that you're close to, that maybe your partners, your parents, or whatever, anything that is close to you can make you cry. Because whatever happens with them vis-a-vis you is what hurts you most.
No, but you know what makes me cry? Kindness of strangers makes me cry. That's what makes me cry. The fact that somebody who's not connected to you and has got
That's
nothing to
also true.
gain from you, and
Yeah.
but they still go out of their way to make you feel special, to be human to you. That's what makes me cry. Because we're living in times where people are so eager to give criticism. They don't have the capacity or the heart to give love because perhaps they have not got that amount of love in their lives. I think that they haven't been perhaps wounded enough. You know, the ones who have all the answers. So I think that that's what makes me cry.
Kind.
Is kindness, generosity makes me cry.
Palestine
Of course,
Yeah.
makes us weep.
makes us feel.
How many times girls have cried on the question of marriage?
Too many. More times than they
बहुत
should.
छोटे हैं अभी तो नहीं
काफी छोटी
I've been proposed to.
I think it's depressing that so many women's identities is tethered to their relationship of marriage. Are you divorced? Are you about to get
Yeah.
married? Are you having kids while you're married? I think that thought is depressing and it's definitely caused enough trauma to women.
I agree. As far as I'm concerned, a woman who's looking for a husband has never had one.
Period.
You know? So, well,
How many of you choose to cry at night?
Choose
Love.
cry at night. No, if I want to cry right now, in the middle of full space in front of cameras, I do not think crying is weakness. Crying is important. You have to let it out of your system.
Yeah.
But you cannot be reduced to a pool of tears and just be this victim in your own life and allow any tragedy to define you. You got to cry, you got to let it out, you got to cleanse yourself, and you got to get up and you got to move on. That's what this title is trying to say.
Exactly.
Has there been any occasion when it's been happy cry for you, when you really
I mean, when we got the call.
Yeah, of course.
I just cried. Yes, I sent you a picture crying yesterday when I heard our song.
Yeah,
just
we heard
yesterday.
music from our show. We saw our
You should
teaser.
hear our songs actually.
Exactly.
Maybe everyone will cry.
Really nice.
what are your upcoming projects you're working on?
Nothing we can talk about, I don't think.
Yeah.
What about you, Pooja?
Well, I have a show that I've completed and it's going to be out soon, but I think we'll talk about that when that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I would like to kind of focus on one lover at a time, and this right now is my current love. So this is it for now.
And what you, Nithya?
Same. We just finished again the same team at Mangata. We just finished another show, but then again I can't talk about it right now. But I'll see you then next round.
Definitely. Thank you so much for a lovely time.
Hi, welcome to Big Girls Don't Cry, and you're watching us on Zoom.
Keep watching.